Hey, Gare. I can't hear you. No,
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I turned on at 5:50. I turned on the meeting, and I guess I must have shut it off. Okay, it's okay. I'm gonna
No worries.
in what in what could have been through more challenging times. I wanted to highlight tonight a special Toastmaster Gary Newper, who is a gentleman that we have all been able to count on to be his word. Gary has been his word in showing up as he promised every other week, as this was his agreement in coming aboard and joining us with our Toastmasters family. With the big changes in our club meeting virtually now, Gary has spent hours with me supporting me and our club behind the scenes in getting this platform up and running effortlessly. He has since joined us on a weekly basis, yay, which we are loving every moment of that. And starting this evening, Gary is going to be co-hosting our meeting, so we can also create some more ease and grace. And this will allow me to be more present with the roles that I'm playing and come through this meeting with grace and ease. So let's all send Gary a virtual group hug. Yay, Gary, hugs for Gary. Yoo-hoo! Okay. My next announcement is referring to our scripts. And my request is that each one of you, whilst going over the script with your mentor, adjust the script to this virtual platform. As a mentor myself, I've been going over in detail with my mentees the script and that they will be using in the role that they are playing for that week. It is our job to go over the script naturally with our mentees, and now we get to see what we can alter to have the roles to be geared towards a virtual meeting now. For example, I wanted to highlight the general evaluator role. For this role is one of the most intricate and important roles of the meeting. When you take this role, I want you to listen and be with what you are reading from the script. And those of you who are not playing that role, listen with new ears to what's being said, so whatever the functionaries are reading, the script is for each of us to be taking in the seeds that they're planting for when we take that role. So each one of the functionary roles is to improve our leadership skills, and each role is masterfully designed to have a well-run meeting and understand the importance of teamwork. So we are looking forward to hearing the great feedback tonight that our general evaluator has for our virtual meeting. And our final announcement that I have right now is that if anyone has any comments during the meeting, please use the chat and use it privately for any evaluations during the meeting for the speakers, evaluators, whomever it is that you want to give feedback to, because we welcome, we honor, and love your feedback. And we're just requesting that you put your evaluations in a private chat directed to that person. Also, if there is anyone that has anything they wanted to say to anybody during the course of the meeting, again, please use the private chat. Hopefully everyone knows how to get to the private chat. If there is anyone that doesn't know how to get to the private chat, on the bottom of your screen where it says mute, stop videos, participants, and all of the bottom options that you have on your bar, on your Zoom bar, that's where you can get this. Also, if you want to see a speaker up close and personal, you can actually go to the top of your screen if you're on a computer and click speaker view, which will allow you to see the speaker in a larger screen, so you can see their facial expressions and you can see everything else that is going on up close and personal in their space as they are speaking. I also request that everyone does stay present with the meeting and keep your video on during the entire course of the meeting. We appreciate all of you. And now let's get ramped up and excited to call upon our brilliant Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Jack Miller. Woo! unmute yourself, Jack, and we're ready to go.
Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guest, it's my pleasure to open and get going the meeting for April the 13th. Gary Newper, can you give us our invocation?
Yes, Toastmaster Jack. In line with our theme of the meeting for tonight of expectations, I have a quote from Stephen Covey to share with you this evening. Treat a man as he is, and he will remain as he is. Treat a man as he can and should be, and he will become as he can and should be. So that's just something to think about when we interact with our family and friends and fellow Toastmasters in terms of treating people to the level that they can be, and they'll often rise up to that. Thank you, Toastmaster Jack.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gary. That was excellent. In fact, it really reminded me when you said that, treat a man as you would like him to be, that was Jesus's method of teaching. And since yesterday was Easter, really very apropos in that regard too. So thank you very much. As Toastmaster of the Day, I serve as your Master of Ceremonies for the benefit of our guests and new members. A traditional Toastmasters meeting has 3 sections: formal speeches, table topics, and evaluations. You all have in front of you or the agenda, but we'll kind of, a little tough to work on that and the screen at the same time if you have it on your computer, so I printed mine. Okay, throughout the meeting, our members will have the opportunity to practice their listening, critical thinking, and management skills by serving in various roles. Toastmaster Susanna Teladar, I hope I got it right. As our counter, will you tell us your responsibilities? Unmute yourself, please.
All right, I was breaking up a little bit. Good evening, Toastmasters. Toastmaster of the Day. The purpose of the all counter is to note any word or sound used as a crunch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate. Interjections such as and, well, but, so, and you know. Sounds may be or. I make a note of the this means throughout the meeting, I listen to everyone for sounds as fillers and not as a necessary part of sentence structure. When I hear these filler sounds or words, I will ring the bell for the first 3 inflections to bring this to the speaker's attention, and I will ring the bell an additional 3 times whenever a speaker stands for another speaking opportunity. However, I'll write down the type and number of fillers used by each person during all portions of the meeting, even after I have given my report to the general evaluator. I'll still ring the bell, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Susanna. Toastmaster Zastri Stewart, can you explain your role as grammarian?
Yes, Toastmaster. One benefit of Toastmasters is that it helps people improve their grammar and word use. Being grammarian provides an exercise in expanding listening skills. I have several responsibilities: to introduce new words to members, to comment on the language used during the course of the meeting, and to provide example of eloquence. Today, our word of the day is assurance. The definition of assurance is confidence of mind or manner, easy freedom from self-doubt or uncertainty, spoke with assurance about his future plans is what you would use in a sentence. Another definition of assurance could be something that inspires or tends to inspire confidence. A third, the act or action of assuring someone or something. Examples of assurance in a sentence: they lent us the money with the assurance that they would be repaid soon. He has the assurance of continued support from his boss. I encourage everyone to use the word of the day, assurance, during the meeting. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stewart. Toastmaster Micheline, can you explain your role as timer?
Jack,
Gary.
Okay, that's right. We switched to Gary. Okay, I'm sorry. I had it written down.
No worries. Toastmaster of the Day. I'm responsible for monitoring the time for each speaker. I operate the timing signals indicating to each speaker how long he or she has been speaking for. As general timer, I'm responsible for ensuring that we stay within the allotted time for each item on the agenda. For each speaking segment, I will show the green card when the minimum timing requirement has been met. I'll show the yellow card when the midpoint between the minimum and maximum time allotted. And I'll show the red card when the maximum timing requirement has been reached. The speaker has 30 seconds to wrap up after the red card is displayed. Timing begins with the speaker's first definite verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gary Nooper. Did I get it right the second time? Toastmaster Henry Dow, can you explain your role as general evaluator?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster. If one thinks of a club meeting as a project, then think of a general evaluator as a quality control manager. As general evaluator, my responsibilities include ensuring the speech and leadership project evaluators know their responsibilities, supervising the people in the functionary roles, making sure all guests have had an overview of a meeting and feel welcomed, evaluating everything that takes place during the club meeting. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Henry. The first section of our meeting is formal speeches, which are prepared speeches based on specific projects in our communications manuals or pathways program. This evening, we have two speakers, Brendan McCauley and Zobia Zahid. Our first speaker, Brendan, I'm going to ask Toastmaster Hyan Green to explain her role as evaluator.
My pleasure, Mr. Toastmaster. Brendan McCauley is going to give his very first speech, which is icebreaker speech. Hence, it is going to be 4 to 6 minutes long. And he has chosen a path that is effective coaching. And the title of his speech for tonight is, very appropriately, Life on a Balance Wheel. Life on a balance wheel.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hyan Green. Toastmaster Brendan McCauley, I got too much paper. Can you please, ready to begin?
Thank you, Toastmaster. Focus, habits, and accountability. These are the three principles that I've lived my life by that I'd love to share with you so you can see through my lens how I see my life. And the way I'd like to do this, and by a show of hands, is anyone familiar with what a balance wheel is? Has anyone heard of a balance wheel? Some have, some haven't. So a balance wheel, there's multiple types of balance wheels, and the balance wheel that I'd like for you to imagine is basically a section, and in this case, my balance wheel has 5. And you could have a balance wheel for career, you could have it specifically for relationships, so on and so forth. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to take you through the balance wheel that I focus on and how focus, habits, and accountability have really allowed me to shape my life. And I'm going to walk you through each one of those pieces. So hopefully you have a much better idea of who I am. And then after this, I'd love to be able to meet you and how this balance wheel relates to you in your lives. And the first part, if you'd imagine on the balance wheel, we break this into 5 sections. On the very top, I have the balance wheel portion called spirituality. Now, spirituality, it can mean God, it can mean the light source, it can mean energy, it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And for me, spirituality really is just connecting to a higher power. It's connecting to something that's bigger than me. So my focus became trying to figure out what was I about, what was important to me, what did I want to achieve. So my habit became life coaching. My habit became helping other people. it became creating a vision of something that was almost so scary, but it excited me to want to get up at the same time. So my consistent accountability was working with a life coach, working with a partner that helps keep me grounded in that and pushing forward every day. Now, the next piece is relationships. And relationships can come in the forms of spiritual relationship and come in forms of family relationships. So I have plenty of family down here in South Florida. And you actually realize how important relationships are yesterday when I actually had a grandmother that passed away. And you start to really understand how short of a time something can be and how cherishing those relationships can be tremendously important. Your relationship with yourself, do you love yourself? And that's something that has been a focus for me to make sure that I look at myself and I love who I am as a person. And then in addition, being able to create the habit of those affirmations, of having a partner, of having good people in my life, people that I love surrounding myself by, that has become habitually something that I've done on a daily basis. So inviting family members over, good friends over, people that I love, people that I care about, and really just wanting to serve. The next portion of the wheel, so you have your spiritual, and then if you work your way around the wheel, then you have your relationships, and then you get to your health. And for me, I actually struggled with weight when I was a kid. So I had started with I had started with Weight Watchers, and through that program lost about 30 pounds. And that had actually led me to want to start helping other people. That's what grew my spirituality. That's what I started growing my relationships, to really reach out to other people that were in need, because I myself had gone through that process. And through that, I discovered two things. I discovered entrepreneurship, and I discovered entrepreneurship, and I also discovered just the personal journey of personal development and really taking myself to the next level. And it's instilled the focus of being able to say, well, if there's something that I want and I know what that target is, that I can truly go after it. And I've used that same concept of being able to lose weight in every other area of my life. So the habit that has been instilled is that I've created a burning desire for whatever it is that I truly want to go after, and then holding myself accountable, very much similar in a group like this. So after the health portion, then you move over to profession. I had worked for a corporate 9-to-5 for about 10 years and a couple odd jobs here and there. And it really wasn't my personality. So I decided to branch off. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for about the past 5 years and decided to become a full-time coach and mentor because it was truly my passion. It's what I absolutely love doing. And through that, my last piece has become the financial. And with that, I've gone on to teach programs such as Dave Ramsey's with his Financial Freedom. I've learned just a whole bunch of webinars, seminars, things I've done to personally grow myself. So my focus was that I wanted to live a financially free lifestyle. So I created the habit of surrounding myself by like-minded entrepreneurs, ones that have done very well financially, because I've learned that the more you put into it, the more you get out. The better relationships you create, the stronger that becomes, the more effect you can have in the world, the more connections you can have with people, and the more impact you can have. So I put all of those pieces together, and I've learned that just by really sticking with that, by being focused on something, creating a habit out of it, and then being held accountable, has just completely set my life on a path that I'm very excited about. I love waking up to it every day. And the one thing I would ask from all of you as Toastmasters is I want to be able to communicate my message more effectively. So I would ask that each of you hold me accountable to help become the best Toastmaster I can possibly be. Thank you.
Great job, Brendan. Thank you. You motivated us all. Okay, our next speaker is Sobia, and on the importance of Toastmasters. Shay, can you give us information on Sobia's speech as her evaluator?
Yes, I can. So Sobia's speech is called The Importance of Toastmasters. The purpose of her speech is to practice delivering a social speech praising an individual or group in front of the club or club members. This project is actually a two-part project where she's presenting one in this meeting and one in another setting. The time frame is between 3 to 4 minutes. So go ahead, Sobia. Good job. Good luck.
Can you hear me? Everyone
Yes.
can hear me? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and respected presidents. So a couple of weeks ago, I was reading this joke by Jerry Seinfeld, and he was saying, according to most studies, people's number one fear is the fear of public speaking, and death is number two. And then he was asking his audience, if that sounds right, this means for an average person to go to a funeral, he's better off in the casket than doing the eulogy for that person. Well, this is not only a joke. A lot of other surveys and studies have revealed that public speaking is number one fear. And 75% of our world's population, people suffer with some kind of social anxiety while speaking publicly. So now the big question is there anything that we can do to make this thing improve this or make it better? So the expert says yes. Nothing can improve you more than practicing or encouraging, encourage public speaking in various different areas. But how can you do that? You cannot just go to an public spot and start speaking in front of people. So here, the Toastmasters Club plays an important role. They have chapters all over the world, and they help individuals to become better communicator by providing different leadership and communication skills. So I still remember, like last year in August when I joined Toastmaster. It was my first day in the meeting, and I was sitting in the back, and I still remember when it was the time for table topics, the table topic master asked me if I would like to participate in table topics. And I very willingly said yes, not knowing what I'm saying yes for. But when it was my turn and he asked me the question, honestly, I don't remember what the question was, but I remember that I was just standing there blank. Somehow I just could not say anything. And I think that was the longest 1 minute I could ever think of. But you know what I was thinking about? I was not thinking about what I said or what I didn't say or anything. I was only thinking about, what all these people must be thinking about me, that she cannot even speak for 1 minute on any random topic. So that's why the fear of public speaking is the number one fear. It's the fear of being negatively evaluated by people, fear of being rejected or amended by people around you. And all these fears can push you several miles away from your success. So today, after all these months standing here, I can very proudly say that this is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, joining a Toastmaster Club. And it has not only helped me to overcome all of these fears, but it has also given me several opportunities to practice public speaking skills in various roles. And another advantage you have after joining the Toastmaster Club is the privilege of having a mentor. And here I would like to say thank you to my mentor, Stacy Kessler, who has not only encouraged me to choose different roles while in different meetings, she has also provided me with constructive and positive and effective feedback that how I could improve myself in my next meeting. And she has always providing me with this assurance that I can be a better speaker too, like any other person. And I would also like to say thank you to my fellow Toastmasters for their support all the time too, and helping me in my journey to become a better speaker. In the end, I would like to say, share this quote with you by Henry Ling. He said, "We generate fears while we are sitting, and we overcome them by actions." So joining Toastmaster, I think, is one of the best actions I've ever taken towards my journey or towards to overcome my fear of public speaking. Thank you.
Very good, very informative, and we love having you. You're such an inspiration for all of us. Okay, the evaluators will get their evaluations together, but before we begin that, we're going to ask Toastmaster Micheline Nemhard to come forward with the next part of our speech, which is tabletop.
Sure, good evening. Toastmaster of the day. With table topics, the topic masters give members who are not assigned a significant speaking role the opportunity to speak during the meeting. This is also a great opportunity to step out of your comfort zone. I challenge each member with a subject, and they will respond with a 1 to 2 minute impromptu talking. I encourage each participant to pay attention to the timing signal. Gary, if you can demonstrate the timing signal, please.
Good, Topics Master. I'll display the green card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, the red card at 2 minutes, and at 2 minutes 31 seconds, I will clap the speaker off.
Thank you. I will repeat the topic you will be speaking on two times. I invite each of you to be super present and focused now, as I will be calling on you after I have stated the topic. The theme of the meeting is expectations, and the word of the day is assurance. So I encourage you, while responding, to use either one of those words in your response. First topic. If there was a movie about your life, would it be a comedy, drama, action, romantic? And if so, which one of those, what actor would play you? I will read it one more time. If there was a movie about your life, would it be a comedy, drama, action, romantic? And what actor would play you? Angel.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Good evening, Toastmaster President. And thank you, Micheline. Just thinking about that. And my movie, or the movie that I prefer, the actor would be Vin Diesel. And Fast and Furious. And that's an action movie. My life is so much like that. You start out slow, and at the end, it's a blast. And right now I'm having a blast with things are thrown our way, and for some reason, some like to, I would say, coward in the back, and some would like to go fast forward. I'm the type of person that likes to go fast forward. I like to see what happens. Despite what's happening in the world today, I know there's better things to come. I had 3 people that passed away, and none of them were from this disease. Unfortunately, time has caught up to them. And as everyone knows that I did write something on Facebook the other day, and it says, under the sun, the race doesn't go to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. The bread to the wise, or intelligence or the rich to the intelligent, nor does it favor the knowledgeable. Time and chance happens to us all. And I live by that. Everybody has their chance to do what they need to do and be that superstar they need to be. Actually, I don't want to be like Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel wants to be like me. Thank you.
Thank you, Angel.
You're always so humble.
I needed that giggle. Thank you. Next topic. Actually, I will use that same topic for the second Toastmaster, Connie. That same topic. If there was a movie about your life, would it be a comedy, a drama, action, romantic? And what actor would play you? You're on mute.
You have to unmute me. Am I-
Did, you're done.
It would definitely be a comedy, a romantic comedy for me. Audrey Hepburn would play my role. I love life. I think that I bring smiles on everybody's faces, see the glass half full. And nothing really in my life has kept me down, which I think, knowing a little bit about her, she was the same way. And no matter what she was going through, really the rest of the world didn't know. So I share, with certain people what I want them to know. But basically my spirit is bright and light. And I think it would definitely be a musical full of, beautiful songs about nature, about my beloved, about second chances. And it would be an Academy Award movie, definitely. I would be accepting an award at the end. And I would be getting up there and in my beautiful gown and telling everybody, thank you very much for everybody that helped me. And of course, thanking my parents, but it all comes down to just being happy and loving yourself, and whatever's inside of you eventually comes out to the rest of the world. Thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you, Connie. That was beautiful.
Yes.
Moving on to the next topic. At what point in your life did you finally realize that you are no longer a kid and need to be an adult? At what point in your life did you finally realize that you are no longer a kid and needed to be an adult? Gary, Toastmaster Gary. I can do the timing signal.
I got it.
Okay, thank you.
Evening, fellow Toastmasters. I think there's some aspects in which I haven't quite realized that I need to be an adult yet. As much as life's responsibilities have come my way, and there were numerous areas through that where I had more responsibility and certainly felt more like an adult. I think in general terms, my wife and I have chosen to enjoy life and experience everything that life has to offer and enjoy all the adventures that we can together. So from that point of view, you could say we're still living as children, except that the bills still have to get paid. And unfortunately, it takes vacation time to enjoy the adventures. I think it's something that people generally go through a time in their life where they realize that they need to take responsibility and be adults for a period of time. And then it's almost as if you get to live as a child again later on, once your children are out of the house and you're more financially stable and you have less responsibilities again. I'd enjoy living life and enjoying those moments throughout life instead of waiting for those specific phases. Thank you, Topic Master.
Thank you, Gary.
Toastmaster Henry, how are we doing on time?
I think we still have a few more. Yes.
Okay.
We're moving on to the next topic. What do you spend the most frivolous amount of money on? What do you spend the most frivolous amount of money on? Shastri.
What was it? Repeat that question real quick.
What do you spend the most frivolous amount of money on? So what are you spending a whole lot of money on?
Well, there's very limited things that I spend a lot of money on. I think this question pertains more to my wife, but I'll still answer that question. The thing I spend the most money on is video games. It's a hobby of mine that I just cherish. It really helps me escape the world, helps me escape reality. A lot of times we need to do that to be able to re-energize, refocus. And it's almost like watching a movie, but more interactive. And whenever the new video game system comes out, I always buy it. Doesn't matter if it's $500, $600, $700. It doesn't matter what the cost. I buy it. And I also buy the TV to match that and the surround system and the whole experience. So when I do spend a lot on that one genre, but anything else like clothes and shopping and restaurants and all that and traveling, I really don't spend money on that. I leave that to my wife. Thank you.
Sweet. So you're blaming her. Okay. Moving on, I think we have at least two more. What life hack have you done that challenge your life that people may need to do? What life hack have you done that change your life that people may need to know to do? I'm running out of people here. Sunjana.
Can you repeat that question one more time?
Sure. What life hack have you done that changed your life that people need to know how to do?
Thank you for the question, Micheline. One of the life hack that I have adopted recently that has really changed me in a positive way is listening to podcasts. I have a long commute from home to work, about 45 to an hour each way. And I used to talk to friends and family all the time. Then I started listening to these podcasts on books, on conversations. One of my favorite one is Super Soul Sunday by Oprah Winfrey. She invites different people, different guests on her show, and they share their life experience. So that has been very positive for me, and most people don't know about it. And along with that, I also like motivational speaker. I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek, motivational speaker. One of his book is Start With Why, which has been my all-time favorite. So I love listening to books like those as well.
You're complete?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Moving on. The next topic. Who is your secret celebrity crush or special person and why? Who is your secret celebrity crush or special person and why? Toastmaster Stacy Kessler.
Who is my secret celebrity crush and why? That's an interesting question for a girl who doesn't watch a lot and embody a lot of people that I can think of. I think
or a special person.
Secret celebrity crush, though, is definitely my husband. He is my secret celebrity crush. I have to say that since I'm 14 years old, he has played different roles in my life. The roles that he's played in my life as a young girl was the missing of the male figure that I did not have in my life as being a dad. I didn't really look to him as being my dad, but he was the man that I could feel I could have conversation with, I could trust, and I could cry and do whatever I wanted to do with my husband, my boyfriend at the time. As we got older, he became the father of my children, whom then he was, in my eyes, the best daddy ever. He was the daddy that I didn't get to have as a little girl, that I got to see shine his love, his uncompassionate love. He was the guy that hung out with all of my girlfriends and did everything that he could do to be the best daddy possible, and spending love and compassion and time with our children. And now that we are just the two of us in the house with our doxies, he plays a whole new role in my life, and that is that he is my lover, my best friend. Always he has been. Now we get to really turn the clock around and be the children that maybe we didn't get to be as youths, and get to have fun, play, and be joyful all the time. And that is, I'm complete.
Thank you. One more topic. What TV show or movie?
Micheline,
Yes.
I think we're at the end of table topics
We're-
time.
Okay. That completes
We're actually
table topic session.
We don't have 3 evaluators. It's good. Like I said, Micheline, it was 7:45, so you're perfect. You're right on time. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Pardon.
What TV show or movie would you actually like to see happen in real life? What TV show or movie would you actually like to see happen in real life? I ran out of people, so I'm going to call on Sobia.
Wait,
So the question is,
Sure. Sobia, what TV show or movie would you actually like to see happen in real life?
TV show or movie? Oh, you asked the wrong person, because I hardly watch TV, but yes, one of the best books I have ever read so far is, I don't know, I'm sure you all have read, I really like Thornbirds. And I loved that book. I watched that whole episodes and everything. That was one of the, I don't know if I want this to happen in real life or not, but there are quite a few things that I loved about that book, and I like that to happen. I'm complete. I am bad at table topics.
What about the book you like?
What about the book I like? I don't know. I am so bad so far.
It was Love and Romance, wasn't it?
Yes, that was, it was so, I mean, like, honestly, for last 10 years since I'm here, I am not into watching TVs, and I haven't even read any good book. I was reading, as she was saying, Simon Sinek. I've started reading Start with the Why just recently.
You did?
So, yes, it is a really nice book. So I just started reading it, and it's like, and I happened to listen to Simon Sinek once. I was in Boston, and he was, this was about his other book, The Infinite Game. He was talking about this, and then I really liked him, and then that's why I said, okay, I'm going to read his book, Start with a Why. So,
Nice.
Love that topic. I think that concludes my table topic session. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you, Toastmaster Micheline. Okay, now I'm going to call forth our general evaluator, Toastmaster Henry Dow, to come to the next part of the meeting.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Jack Miller. May I please have the timer's report on table topics?
General evaluator, all speakers were within the required time for table topics.
Fantastic. Timer, please demonstrate the timing signals for speech evaluation.
I'll display the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, the red card at 3 minutes, and at 3 minutes 31 seconds, I'll clap the evaluator off.
Thank you, timer. Okay, so our first evaluator is going to be our longtime member, Hyun Green, evaluating Brandon on his first icebreaker.
You're on mute.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters, and of course, especially Brandon. I really appreciate the opportunity to evaluate Brandon. Brandon came to our club already as a strong speaker. And of course, tonight he spoke with a healthy dose of assurance about the subject that he knew quite well. And he was very animated when he was speaking about the topic. And he spoke really like a veteran speaker, veteran presenter. So I'm going to talk about two issues here. One is aesthetics, and the other one is delivery. In terms of aesthetics, he looked the part. He looked the part of a presenter or speaker. He wore his suit. He could be wearing a pajama bottom, but who cares? He really looked the part from waist and up and looked professional. And of course, he had no arms, no hesitations, and a lot of his speech flew so well that it was captivating. There are a couple of things that I'm going to mention, but the captivating part was really real. And he spoke about the three items that he wanted to touch on, which was focus, habits, and accountability. And his organization was arranged around that theme. Very well done, Brandon. To make your presentation even better going forward, I want to offer two items. One, power pause. Brandon did mention earlier that he tended to speak a little fast. Indeed, when average speaker speaks about 100 to 130 words a minute, I think Brandon spoke at least in 140 words, or if not 150 words a minute. If Brandon had some power pauses in between his points, for example, spirituality is very important in my life, then take a pause, 1 or 2 seconds. And then next one is relationship. So give a pause to make a point and to give more dramatic effect to your presentation. And the second item, the last item I wanted to offer to make your presentation better is a dose of humor. A little bit of humor. You don't have to be funny. You don't have to make us roll on the floor, but a little bit of humor. You can ask, can you imagine I was 30 pounds heavier? Yes, I was. So something like that, that we would have chuckled. But other than that, your presentation, your speech was wonderful. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hyun. For our next evaluator, we have Ms. Shea Greaves evaluating Sobia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Henry, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters. No guests this time. I have the pleasure of evaluating Sobia. And her speech, I would say overall, she always delivers quality. That's hands down. She always delivers quality. The first 3 points that I'd like to highlight were some of her strengths. I thought her opening was strong, giving the parallel between being in the casket versus the eulogy. So someone would prefer to be in the casket versus giving a eulogy. Now that seems a bit dramatic, a bit extreme, but that was a great example just to highlight how fearful people are of public speaking. The next example I'll give is how she used great body language and eye contact. So we're on this virtual platform, and so you have a tendency to lose connection because you're looking in different places. But I felt like she was looking right at me. So I want to compliment her on that. Thirdly, she related to the audience by using fears, common fears, rejection. She talked about judgment and anxiety, anxiousness. So those were very strong connectors throughout her speech. So I have some challenge points that I'd like to give. First of all, her pacing. I think there was a little lack of assurance about the flow of her speech or the content. So she paused, she stuttered, she hesitated. But I would encourage her to embrace, again, pauses. As was mentioned earlier, just pause and go for it. We know that when you deliver, it's quality, and walk with that confidence that what you've presented and what you've prepared, even if it's not perfect, embrace the moment. Lastly, I would have liked to, so I thought you were doing this on purpose when you lean into the camera and then you come back, but it ended up being just like a dance. And so I'd like you to use that maybe to make a point. As you're leaning into the audience, we'll feel that point by your proximity to the camera. In conclusion, thank you for complimenting Toastmasters. It has been a journey for me, and I've seen myself grow as well. So I agree with you, and I've also seen you grow, Sobia. So we've grown alongside each other. I encourage you to keep going and to keep moving forward and more confidence, because you're awesome. Thank you, Toastmaster Henry.
I'm not a Toastmaster, I am the general evaluator, but thank you. Okay, thank you, Shea. May I please have the timer's report on speech evaluations?
General evaluator, all speakers were within the allotted time.
Thank you, Gary. Okay, now let's vote for our best evaluator. Oh, no, well, I don't know how that works.
I think that's done at the end, Henry.
Okay, yeah.
I think,
Okay.
Stacey, you're going to post that for us all to vote.
Stacey, you're on mute. Should I launch the poll now?
Good, we're good.
Yeah,
We're going to
yes.
do it as planned.
Okay.
Thank you.
While we're all voting, I want you to get a little picture. Did that show up there? I don't have my camera showing.
That's
This is-
adorable, Jack.
That's Sonia's little girl. Let me put it up.
Oh, wow.
We're not voting until the end, Henry. You can keep going with
Okay,
Mary rolls. Thank you.
okay, so may I please, now this, I guess this is a section I call on the grammarian support, so may I please have the grammarian support?
Yes, General Evaluator. Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. All right. So our word of the day was used a resounding 2 times. Sobia and Yon. I might have missed one. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard. Grammatical errors. There were several grammatical errors that I heard and some slangs used. For one, someone said, y'all have. It should have been you all. Also, we want to make sure that we pronunciate in our words, such as counter or world's population. We want to make sure that we pronounce in our words properly. Other things that were said was I'm gonna ask, should have been I'm going to ask. Or very appropriately should be very appropriate. Someone also said I had started. It should have been I started. Someone said we still living. It should have been we are still living. Some notable phrases that was used, I only heard one that really caught my ear. I don't want to be like Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel wants to be like me. And that concludes my grammarian report, General Evaluator.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, with that, can we get the odd counters report, please?
General Evaluator, the total number of fillers used by the club today is 19. The most fillers used by a member was The most commonly used filler word today is used times. The following toastmasters did not use any filler words during the meeting: Jack, Sastry, Henry, Stacy, and Miss Celine. For your individual tally of filler words, please text me or message me your results.
Thank you, Susanna. Okay, with that, I would like to give my general evaluators report. All right, let's get started. Okay, did the meeting start on time? Yes, thank you, Shastri, for reminding us to start at 6:55. Were the guests welcome? I don't believe we had any guests today. Were the dignitaries acknowledged? I don't believe we had any dignitaries today also. Did the Toastmaster today lead the group in applause? Yes, thank you, Jack. Were the meeting roles explained? I believe so. Did the speech introductions include the name of the manual, project number, project name, project objectives, timing criteria, and speech title? I think that's something that we can work on. I don't think that we introduced those topics, and I didn't hear what the project title was and the project objectives were. Were the transitions between formal speeches smooth? I believe so. The transitions between speeches indicate the Toastmaster today was listening. I believe so. Will the meeting end on time? Looks like it will. Was the theme stated? It was stated one time, but I would like to hear it stated more. Were the table topics appropriate to the audience? Yes. Were any of the special techniques employed? I didn't see any really. Were members called on the appropriate order for table topics? Micheline, you did a great job doing that. I believe everybody had opportunity to speak, and the topics were very appropriate. Was the topic stated first and the name of the member was identified? Yes. Okay, for our table topics participants, how has each participant improved? I actually took a little bit of notes on everybody at the table topics. Angel, I like your impromptu speech about Vin Diesel. Actually, that was the first person that popped up in my mind when I saw when you were asked that question. So I was surprised that you and I thought the same thing. Connie, that was a very heartfelt speech that you did. Gary, we're always all kids, and yes, it takes time to grow up, and I mean, it sucks and it's awesome at the same time. So there's the perks of growing up, and then the cons of growing up. Shastri, yes, the video games. You always talk about the video games. I hope you're still playing Star Wars. I know you talk about it a lot. Susanna, I love that you listen to podcasts, and this is the first time for me listening to you speak. I don't think I've heard you speak before, and you seem like a very confident speaker to me, so that's great. Stacy, that was the first time I heard you really open up to us and showed your vulnerability to us that I'd never seen before. So thank you for that. Sobia, you did a good job of deflecting the question. However, you didn't really finish on that, but good job deflecting the question and going towards the book. Were any special techniques used? I don't think so. What in terms of impromptu speaking can be improved on? I like that everybody used most of the time up to the green card. So awesome on that. All right, for our speech evaluators, we had Heon and Shea. Heon and Shea, you guys did a great job of employing the Oreo cookie method that we all know about, where you start positive and then you add a little bit of feedback and what you can improve on, and then you added positive. So you guys both did a great job of doing that, and the feedback was very constructive. And if I was a speaker, I would thank you for that kind of feedback. So great job on that. Okay. For our reports, thank you, Gary, for stepping up to be the timer. As you know, as Toastmasters, not everything goes right, and we have to help each other when some of the roles aren't filled. And Gary, thank you for stepping up to the plate and doing that. For our odd counter, Shastri, I believe it was. Shastri, you're the odd counter? No.
Grammarian. I was a grammarian.
I was.
Grammarian.
Okay. Right. So for the odd counter, I would like to hear the bell more. I could barely hear the bell when people were using ums and buts and ahs. So that's something that we can work on in the future. And our grammarian, Shastri, you always listen in, and thank you for giving us all that feedback on that. Okay, well, that was a breathful. First time doing that, and I encourage everybody to take this role. I didn't think it'd be this hard, but this concludes our evaluation section of our meeting. Please welcome Toastmaster Jack Miller. Whew.
Thank you, Toastmaster Henry. Great job. You covered it well. Thank you. Yes, general evaluator is tougher than you think it is because there's a lot involved there. But I'm glad you're taking it next week too, right? Okay, well that concludes, oh no, we have voting now. So Gary, you're gonna put forth the poll?
I got it, Gary.
Okay.
Jack, can you just announce which ones we're going to do first, second, and third, please?
Okay. So for our first voting will be for our speakers. Second will be for table topics, and the third will be for evaluators.
I thought it was an icebreaker.
They're still speakers.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay, there's no vote. You're right. Well, no, actually, yeah, there's one icebreaker and one speaker. So Sobia will be the winner, and Brendan is the winner in all of our eyes. Now, the next one that should be up in front of you is for the best evaluator. And I believe table topics will be coming up soon. And the winner for the evaluator is she's sharing it in a different area.
Here I am. And the winner is for our best evaluator this evening. Our first place winner is Toastmaster Shay Greaves. Ooh.
Yay!
Great job, Shay. Great job, Heon.
Thank you.
And now we need the voting for the best table topics.
Did you keep track of this?
Here we go. We're going to go to our best table topics. Here we go.
Didn't Gary also do table topics, Stace?
Thank you. Yes.
That's okay.
Gary,
We can
Gary, you
skip
can take
me
my
for
place.
No,
tonight.
that's good. That's good. So hold on.
Oh yeah, wait. We can. If you vote for Henry, you vote for me.
Wait, did Henry not do it? That's what I was confused of. I was texting, but I wasn't hearing back.
No, I didn't do table topics. Gary
Okay,
did.
so Henry is Gary. But let me see how
I'm two people today.
Wait, so let's just take this moment. I just want to see if I can edit this while we're in action. It doesn't look like it. I would have to relaunch the poll.
Wow.
Okay.
Everyone wants to be me today, huh?
Everyone wants to be Henry today. Is everybody voted? We have 8 votes so far. Okay, we're almost there.
Sharing your computer, so there's only one vote there.
Okay. Okay, perfect. I've got everyone now. And our best table topics speaker of the evening for first place is Toastmaster Gary. Woo! There's your ribbon. And I want to say that we have a best icebreaker for the evening as well. And we're going to give our round of applause for our best icebreaker to Toastmaster Brendan. Okay. Brendan, great job. And finally, our best speaker of the evening, as we did not get to vote this evening for best speaker. So our best speaker of the evening is Toastmaster Sobia. Great job. Toastmaster Jack, you're on.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stacy. Well, and again, thank you for all your hard work in putting these Zoom meetings together. You and Gary have worked really hard, and it's coming together very well. So I want to thank you. So that pretty much concludes our meeting for the evening. We'll be meeting again next week. Same thing. We do need a Toastmaster, though, for next week.
Don't everyone stand up at once now. Who would like to be our Toastmaster of the day for next week?
So, Jack, I had signed up for table topics, but if you need me to switch, I can hop off that and do Toastmaster.
Works for me.
And I can take Brendan's spot as table topics master.
Perfect.
Good. So, Brendan, the one thing, we want to get the theme in there as quickly as possible. And whoever picks up the grammarian word, please put the word of the day in there. And as Stacy had said last week, and I think it's a great idea, the earlier we get that in there, try and use the word a few times during the week so that it becomes more comfortable, whatever your role is next week. With that,
but we would, one thing, we would have to wait for the theme first, right? Because the word has to reflect the theme. Okay.
That is correct. Thank you.
Got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation. It has been my pleasure to serve as your Toastmaster of the day. And please welcome back our president, Toastmaster Stacy Kessler.
Thank you, Jack.
Great meeting with great assurance as always. Excellent meeting, intriguing speeches tonight. Everyone is doing a standout job here in Toastmasters. I wanted to make a few more announcements. This weekend is the area contest. If you are available on Saturday, we could use support in the area contest. We do need some volunteers. So if you would like to be a volunteer in the area contest, it does give you the opportunity to work collaboratively with other Toastmasters that are outside of our club in the area. It allows you to get to know other people that are in other clubs as well as network with those people as well. If you are interested in supporting the area contest, please do send me a private text message. Let me know that you are available. I will give your name and information over to Jennifer. If you know Jennifer's contact number directly, you can go ahead and send her a text, and she would love to have our support as Wellington Toastmasters. Gratefully, thank you, Jack, for doing your job as turning the baton over to someone else to be the Toastmaster, which was a great accolade for you this evening, Jack, as well as for all of us, leaving it up to the Toastmaster to then find a replacement for him for the following week, which is what we do in leadership. Great job on that, Jack. Thank you very much. And next week, we do have 3 speakers already signed up. If you are interested in speaking, we are forging forward with getting everyone signed up early enough in advance. So I invite each and every one of you to please sign up for your next speaking role so that you can make it through your pathways and get on to the next level. I believe I am complete at this time, and I wish you all a most beautiful week. Thank you all for your participation and your leadership skills tonight. Everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Saturday, Jack will be participating for the club. He will be representing the club in Best Speaker, and I believe I will be representing the club in Table Topics for area contest. Please come out and support your fellow members, as we would love to see your beautiful faces on the screen so that we could be comfy and know that all of our teammates and all of our tribe are here. Good night, everyone. Bye for now.
Good evening. Bye.
We won't be doing our officers meeting. If there's anything that the officers would like to add or get in touch with me, please send me a text message. And if you are a mentee of mine and you have not booked your call with me, please go ahead and do so. Go onto my calendar and book that call. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.